Uh-huh.
Because we had the feeders, but we didn't bring
Syrup.
syrup. So the
So
next
you
day I
fed them
went
once.
in, and then the next weekend I fed them again.
Okay.
But I didn't open up the whole hive.
Okay.
And then last weekend I opened up the hive.
Got it. Okay. So you noticed that the first thing I did when I walked up was to put a puff of smoke on the entrance. It's always a good idea.
Yep.
It's looking really good.
I know. Well,
We've made some progress.
Looks good.
Since we're taking it apart anyway, why don't we just go ahead and, as we're working the colony, we'll begin moving it.
Okay.
You okay with that plan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my preferred method, and there are a number of different ways of doing things, but what I like to do, generally speaking, is to remove the comb that's one or two over from the sidewall closest to me.
Yes.
Because you can get a nice straight lift on that.
Yep.
And
is that all honey?
No, there's brood in the middle.
Oh.
Tiny little patch of brood right here.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see the larva in there.
Yep. The best way to do it, of course, is put it up over your shoulder to help see down in the bottom and see if you can spot eggs. The problem with a colony in this condition, I think there is an egg there. Yeah, maybe only one. Is that they're bringing in honey so fast that they're limiting the space available for the queen to lay eggs.
Got it.
Okay, yeah, and you can see eggs or embryos on this side down in some of the comb that's down here. Okay.
Oh yeah, I see the little.
You see the eggs?
Yep, the little white kind of grains of rice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that's a good sign. That means we've got a healthy, productive queen. It looks like. Where temporarily, where would you like to? So you want to put the hive stand in like this? What do you think?
Sure.
Okay. Well, for the time being, we're going to move the combs one at a time over here and lean up against there.
Okay.
As we put the colony back together, we're going to want to move this off the sidewall. They're reluctant to draw foundation that's adjacent to the sidewall.
Okay.
So we'll move it to that position and then put that over here.
So when you go into the hive, do you always want to rotate that last one out, like every couple weeks, or?
No, not necessarily. It's just that because that's foundation, we're going to do it until they get it as drawn comb, and then after that, you don't need to swap comb positions unless the brood nest is not in the center of the hive. I always like to keep the brood nest in the center of the hive.
Is that drone?
Drone brood.
Yeah.
Very good. And you can see, no, you're fine. Okay. And they're actually pulling drone larvae or pupae out of these two cells. Okay, which I think is probably a good sign. One of the things that we try to do is rear bees that naturally suppress varroa mites. One of the ways they do that is to chew infested larvae or pupa and remove them from the colony so that the varroa mite can't complete its life cycle, because it reproduces on the developing pupae while it's capped. And again, we got eggs and sealed brood there.
Drone right there?
No, that's a bee.
Oh, that's bigger.
Nice variety of pollen that they're bringing in. There's the queen.
Oh, right there. There she is. Okay.
So you want to hold her so we're sure not to lose that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move the rest of the colony off the cinder blocks now. I made a mistake. I'm not getting my veil behind my collar, which is a bad move. I need to have it. Okay. All right. as they build up propolis in the colony, then you won't have as much risk of what just happened there when the comb slid across on me. Alright, so we'll give ourselves room again so that when we put the queen back in, we don't risk rolling her against an adjacent comb. There she is. And we're just going to count combs of brood. It looks like your hive is really going to explode here in the next few days, because all those cells that are capped right now are going to turn into baby bees. So it's 1, 2, 3 full combs of brood, more or less, surrounded by honey. 4. So there's young stuff there in the middle. You want to see that?
Yeah, I do.
And they're beginning to, as I said, backfill some of the brood cells with honey, so she's not having a chance to lay in them before they fill them up with nectar.
Okay.
So, and that's almost solid honey. When that little patch of brood hatches out, they'll fill that in.
So they do brood and then they fill in with honey?
Usually.
Okay.
This time of year. Okay, and again, we're going to do what I described a moment ago on the other side. We're going to move the foundation off the sidewall.
Yeah.
Because they'll draw that out much more readily. It's not the sidewall, because they treat that as the sidewall of the colony, typically. All right?
And then look for queen cells and things like that down low. Is that right?
Yeah, they can be anywhere. They can be on the face of the comb too.
Okay.
But what I was looking for right now is to just look at the bees on the comb, try to evaluate what average age is. There's some older bees here. Most of them are middle-aged or younger. So the population of the colony is nearly always in a state of flux, and it's a pretty good idea to keep an eye on whether you're waxing or waning. You see, these are baby bees when they're like this. Still have kind of sort of a callow appearance.
Yeah.
She's just closed or emerged not long ago. And you have bees like this one that's an old